Oh,
Hey
wait a minute.
y'all, welcome
Hey,
to Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. Hey, hey,
hello.
hey.
Hi, everybody. So it is a beautiful Wednesday in the world, and you are with Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. You know who we are. Oh, but can I talk? Lip strip with honey. Sometimes you got a little bit of grits and sound a little gritty, but it is sass class and all that ass, and we are gonna be just here being ourselves and talking to you guys a little bit. Today's topic, we're gonna still stay in the real estate topic, but before we start chitter chattering, ladies, can we introduce ourselves? Maisha, why don't you go first? Maisha, Carmel, Dr. J, back to me.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maisha, also known online as Debbie Maisha, CEO of Sensual Energy Alchemy, where I guide Black women into their power through pleasure. Let's just not. I don't have no words today. Go ahead. Who's next?
I'm next. I'm Carmel Jean-Francois, owner and founder of CFIT Coaching, working with individuals who have come to realize that they have a sugar or food addiction, and I assist them in adapting a whole food, plant-based lifestyle in order to combat that addiction and whatever chronic conditions that might come along with it. But I'm also here encouraging everybody to add more plants to your plate. And over to you, Dr. Jamesia.
Hey, everybody. I'm Dr. Amicia, the nurse practitioner extraordinaire. I'm also your intermittent fasting and mindset coach, YouTube influencer, speaker, author, all the things. And I am one fourth of Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. Passing it to you, Shelly.
All right, thank you for that. And I am Shelly A. Carter out of New Jersey, founder and CEO of Housing Ministry LLC. In that space, I work with homeowners and home buyers in the capacity of making home ownership attainable and sustainable, love going to war with foreclosure, and looking for ways to monetize the real estate as well. So that's enough for introductions. Y'all, I was laughing because certain conversations with you guys is always so interesting because it's a matter of saying, okay, um, where is the commonality? And it's just the middle of the night, and I'm like, okay, so how are you going to approach this real estate 101 conversation? And I said, well, we all live somewhere. So since we live somewhere, let's talk about our lifestyles. What's right about it? I have this thing in my head where I am silently at war with all of the gurus doling out this cookie cutter subscription, prescription on how we're all supposed to live our lives. My favorite to pick on is Grant Cardone because I remember always talking to people about single family homes. Sorry, phone call. I remember talking to Grant Cardone about single family homes, not talking to him, but in a situation where he was saying that single family homes, single doors were no good. And I made a post saying Uncle Grant don't know what he's talking about. There's nothing wrong with single doors because inside those single doors, you can do plenty to monetize those single doors. And then almost like the sand in an hourglass, now Grant Cardone is out there preaching to everyone that single doors are great because you can monetize. And I'm saying single doors were always great. Why, Mr. Billionaire, were you out there, or almost at the time, where you're out there telling people that any way to live is not the right way to live? Whether you are a regular person just looking to enjoy the lifestyle that's good for you, or someone who wants to be an investor and monetize, you can be an investor whether you own or don't, whether you're in an apartment or not, and you can be an investor in your apartment, or you can be an investor with 200 units or more or less. How we live our lifestyle is what I wanted to get into. And I figure all of us live in different units. We have apartment dwellers, we have home dwellers, we've got living on your own. We've got me living with my mama, being her caregiver. So I just figured let's discuss the highlights of our lifestyles and with the goal for me, I'll just let the cat out of the bag. Just saying that how we live is the right way to live. It's got nothing to do with our goals and aspirations. We're talking about, I'm looking to do some things in another state. Maisha's got goals. So I'll start with you, Carmel, because Carmel, you live in a condo or a co-op?
Condominium.
Condominium. So
Condo.
Fancy, fancy.
why did
Yes.
you choose your condo? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? And would you do it again? Like, just talk to us about condo living.
Yeah. So why did I choose my condo? Because we wanted to buy. My sister and I wanted to buy. This condominium apartment actually fell in our lap. Somebody says, "Hey, the building that the building that I live in has an available apartment for sale." Now we've always owned, so for us to rent, it did not feel like it made sense because my parents owned, and unfortunately, they lost the house. And my sister, my brother, and I got our money together and we bought a house. And we lived there for about 5, 6, 7 years or something. And then my sister and I said, let's like break out of this and go and get our own place. So we sold that house and we bought this condo apartment. It was just big enough for us to. Would I do it again? Yes, 100%. I really feel like there's something to owning. My parents did it and then we just followed suit. So seems like it's just me and you, Maisha.
Hey, let's go.
There's everybody. Yay, the party's back. So that's why we bought it. It felt like it made sense. Would I do again? Again, yes. But I probably would do it with a different apartment because although I love where I live, like the park is right across the street. I have great neighbors. It's a great neighborhood. It's a great building. I have my own boiler, guys. I can control my own heat. I love that. I don't have to rely on anybody else. And y'all know I'm always cold. However, my apartment is situated in an area on the building that doesn't get enough sun, and I feel like I'm a child of the sun, and the fact that we don't have any sun here, it encourages me to stay out during the day a lot longer. Like I'm never in a rush to go home because the light does not translate into my apartment. So that's my biggest regret out of my apartment, from my apartment. But everybody will hear me say, I love where I live. I even love my apartment. In the winter, it's the best. Like you come inside my apartment, you don't even know what time of day it is outside. And that's so cozy in the winter. And it's a little depressing in the summer. But I love the fact that I own. I love the fact that that gives me options in the future. And my idea when I moved in was literally, we're going to move in. We're both going to get married. We're going to rent this joint out and we're gonna make all the money. Guess what? It's 20 years later. My sister got married, is back, and I never got married. And we're still living here like these college students who never really got the furniture that they needed to get because we were like, we're out of this place and we're just gonna collect. That part I would definitely do differently. And but it's a good space. I love where I live. So I hope I answered all your questions, Shelly.
You answered it just fine. That light thing, that light conversation, it's amazing how wonderful light is because you never saw the old house. But if there's one thing I have, is I have windows. And
Yes.
the old house really only is I so you guys don't know. I torture my family. I have no window coverings. My father and my mother had so much shades and drapes and window coverings. I'm on a mental strike, and they keep telling me to cover the windows, and I keep saying next week, next month. Like, I need sunlight. I don't care. You can't really see the house from the road, and it's what you said, Carmel. That light coming in is so medicinal,
It's
but if you've
everything.
got a good location, And you seems like you found your silver lining in it. You know, it's great here and it's great there, but how many people can say that they've been, and I know there's plenty, but it's beautiful. You said 20 years. So your equity in that place must be outstanding, not to be in your business, but it just must be. And you
I
know,
made some mistakes.
oh, okay.
In
Hey,
those
but
So
20 years, I
hey,
made
but you
so
about
still
what have you
own.
done now?
maybe two mistakes.
You still
Okay, so
own.
sounds
I
like a
still
couple
own.
refinances in there, but that's okay. That's okay. You made them and everything is fine, but no matter what, you're still in your space, you're stable, you're comfortable. I lived in a place that was across from a park once. Wow. That was one of my favorite places to be in. Even though I'm across from a park, I'm not still across from the park. I still have to walk to the park. I used to literally just open my door and be at the park. And I really love that for you, especially since you're a runner. You need to come up
Mm.
here and run with the daggone bears though. Let's see how you do with that.
She's a runner.
All
She's a
right.
track star.
Let's cut over to you, Dr. J. And I'm gonna mute myself to make sure there's no background noise. But
Mhm.
you know, you are a homeowner of multiple angles. What's right about your kind of home ownership? I think that's the question we're gonna say. All right, let me ask Carmel that. Carmel, what's right about your kind of home ownership?
Um, it's mine. I love that. When we moved in, we were able to do major repairs in the apartment that we would not have been able to do if it wasn't ours. So I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, no, that's a big bang zoom. That one, people are in there doing stuff, and then when they move out, you know, finding out they can't get their deposits back, or in a couple of cases, even being evicted for augmenting the place they lived because they didn't know that they couldn't augment the place they lived. It's not yours. You can't just go in and put in black ceilings because that looks sexy to you. It, you know, so that's beautiful. All right, Dr. J. So you are our multiple home owner. What's right
Mhm.
about this kind of home ownership for you?
I'm only gonna really just talk about the house I live in. Is
Sure.
that okay? Okay. So I think for me, well, I know for me for a fact, I needed to have a home that was upstairs, downstairs. It needed to be spread out. I needed to have a home that already had a lot of equity in it. So it was a foreclosure when I bought it. And I needed to have a place where I could drive my car into the garage closed, and I can just walk into my house. So that's what I needed. And I also needed a place for my family to come and we all could be here during the holiday season because this is where people come. So I'm the cooker of the family and everybody comes here and I needed to have the space and still feel like I had space. So that's what's perfect for me. So that's why this is right for me. Now, now that my children are older and married and moved, moved around, it still is. It still is the right house. However, I'm starting to feel like it's a little bit emptier than I would like. So,
You
I
see,
kind of like,
Shelly sent you that reel, so you know.
oh yeah, and I'm hoping that was not about me. I'm
That
hoping it was
that
about my
was not a
daughter.
wish. That was just okay. We have to take a quick time out because you brought something. My So I sent Dr. J a reel about someone talking about getting pregnant late in age, which is something that Dr. J sent to me once upon a time, reminding me to be careful because I was sitting there touting my freedom, and she
Yeah.
said, "You know, you're not that free yet, sis." So that's the inside joke. So now everybody knows
Okay.
what the joke is. All right, but I was
Yeah.
just reminiscing on a conversation, not wishing you
I
any
thought it
ill.
was that. I thought it was that, but I was like, "Oh, girl,
You
yeah."
you just got 100% free. I would not wish that back on you.
But yeah, so this what the way I live, it makes it perfect for me. For right now, I've been actually thinking about downsizing a little bit, but I don't know that I'll get rid of this house. So, just kind of thinking about maybe downsizing a little bit. And again, like I said, I don't know that I'll get rid of it. If I do get rid of this house, then I know that I probably will not downsize because I still in my mind feel like I need a big enough place for everybody to come to.
I you are that auntie, you are that mom, that sister, that friend, you are the entertainer. There is Cedric and Dr. Jamesia. That's it. You you guys are the national entertainment squad, and I can't imagine you with a home. You guys, our first time being hosted by Dr. J, I don't have these genes, but our first time, you would have thought we were staying at a five-star hotel. She was ready for us morning, noon, and night. It was everything it needed to be. You see that smile on her? It was everything that
The
all of what she was
spread, the
showing you.
food. Oh my
It was
God.
just it was delectable. And
I'm
I
so
just
glad.
yeah, oh yes, it absolutely was. And it's something that I've heard these people with the downsizing conversation, and it's right for some people, but other people downsizing, I know a couple that downsized, but they're the house is the exact same size. All they did was downsize their taxes. They moved to Delaware where they had a different tax situation. And cut 60 something percent off of their taxes. That's a really nice gift when you're an aged person and you're not working anymore. But we want to live how we want to live.
Mm-hmm.
I love your home. Your everything
Thank
about your
you.
home looks, feels, smells like you. And I'm gushing for a reason. I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. And it makes a lot of sense to just know how you want to entertain. Mainly, I got to tell you, I've told people this for years. Plumbing, the you have the upstairs and the downstairs. You get to separate your space. But when you do
Mm-hmm.
decide to allow people to stay overnight, they still have their own space. There's no sharing.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
feel like being able to separate, the intimate parts of your life from the general parts of your life, I find that to be priceless. And I could understand why you like
Mm-hmm.
it. And I love that. And I love that it's a foreclosure. I really wish more people would pursue foreclosures. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll stick it in as a random tip. If you guys go out and hunt for foreclosures or even go through public records, if you get yourself pre-qualified, I'm not telling you to throw your realtor away, but if you find a foreclosure site, free or paid, public records or whatever, and you've got the money, go to someone who's under foreclosure and say, I like your house. I think I can help you out, and make an offer. They will say no or they will say yes. You're
Mm-hmm.
at 50-50, but you just never know. And especially if there's a sheriff's sale coming up, you might walk yourself into a really good situation being able to help someone stop a foreclosure and get a great deal for you. Anyway, Maisha, so you are our Harlem queen. I get jealous every time I hear you talk about something on 125th. I miss the city. Carmel, you're laughing. I really do, because I used to be there so much. And I lived in the Bronx, but I wasn't allowed to play in the Bronx. I was allowed to play in Harlem, but I wasn't allowed to play in the Bronx. And I spent a lot of time in Harlem on around 125th, or doing stuff at the Apollo. I really miss it. So, Maisha, what's great about your lifestyle? How does it
Well,
serve you?
that's yeah, two separate questions. No,
Okay.
so no, so I live. I came back to New York after leaving my ex-husband, and so I
Mm,
left behind a house um, with a little, a little bit more space for four children, and came back crammed into my mother's two-bedroom apartment. She lived in affordable housing. So when she moved out, I just took over her apartment. So I mean, I have my own bedroom, so I'm fine. My daughter has another bedroom, and because I'm not an entertainer, my three sons have the living room, and that's their bedroom, and that's the setup that we have. And the reason why it works for me is because it's I have leeway in terms of being an entrepreneur and what I do and how I work, and because of the way the setup is here. So it gives me flexibility and freedom in a way that others may not have, and it's very difficult to find like any type of rent stabilized anything, right? Because I slid in under my mom. So this works for me for now. Do I want to stay here? Hell no. I don't want to stay in New York City at all. Not There's nothing about me that wants to stay here. Like I'm jetting the first chance I get. But I'm holding on to the apartment for right now because there are things now that my children are finishing up, and it's like, oh, you need to be a New York City resident. Um, and then I gotta go. Yeah, I've been so over the city, and Harlem now is just like, the Upper West Side. Like I mean, Trader Joe's is here now. You understand what I'm saying? As if there's a Pandora store. Okay, we got Victoria's Secrets. It's H&M. It's not
What's
Harlem.
wrong with all that?
All of it is great. It's not
You
Harlem.
can have
Harlem
it
is
in
like,
some-
I get what
no,
you're
because
saying, Maisha.
yeah, it's
So do I, and so does she. She just having her
she
fun
gets it.
right now.
I know she just being
I
no,
get
because
it, but I mean, why can't you have both?
it's not for both. It's not for the people who live here. It's for the
It's
gentrifiers.
it's for it's for
It's
the
for the
people who are
transplants.
coming. Yeah.
Okay, it's for the mayonnaise contingent. It's not for us.
So
And
you
that's
don't want no
that's the
change. You don't want no change.
that's the thing I don't like. Like I would love it if it was here for us. But as it comes in, we get
Yeah.
Move out.
booted. Yeah, we get booted out. And there are really people struggling to hold on to their homes. There are people who there are folks with brownstones who have had them forever, where folks
Mm,
are trying to trick them out of their
mm,
brownstone, thinking
And
they're
tax them out.
refinancing. Yeah, and having them sign these deeds and sign their property over. Like the black population of Harlem is shrinking. So yeah, when I see a Pandora store, that ain't for Shaquita and them. That's not for Tyrone and his boo. No, no, that's for folks coming in from other places. And they're like, yes, you can shop here because it's here, but we did not bring Pandora here for you, sir and ma'am.
Oh my God.
No,
So one quick question. When you move, have you decided what state you're gonna move to?
Merlin.
Maryland?
yeah, she
Okay.
been saying Maryland.
I'm
I
I'm I'm heading back down there. I know where I want to live. It's not like I want to live in the National Harbor. That probably won't be my first stop because I need to get like you got to get your weight up to live at National Harbor for
well,
sure.
the way
But
you're
but
rolling,
I
that
will
weight will
rent.
be there.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I will rent first and then move over in there. My I've been torn. I'll be honest. I've been torn between do I eventually want to buy a home or do I want to purchase a condo?
Mm,
And I I I think at this stage I would purchase a condo and I would purchase a home to rent. Like I would purchase property and have it be a rental property. But at the I will be 51. I don't want to think about mowing lawns. I don't want to think about
mm-mm.
hiring
Mm,
someone to mow my lawn. I don't want to think about my boiler, whether or not it breaks or not, or my windows. I want to call someone and have someone handle all the things. I don't want to do any of
mm,
that myself. So I will rent a home, but only when I'm in a position where I can have a management company that handles all of that. I don't want to handle any of that. I just want to look at my bank account and see the money. I'm real clear on that. I don't have nothing to do
I love
with the
that.
property.
So
And that's
that
living in a home before, and that was enough. And we were renting that, and I was like, "Whoa, this is
you still gotta
no,
do
I don't
all
want
that
this."
stuff.
Those
Depending on
condo fees.
the agreement with the home that you rent, yes, you got You got to do all the things. Okay, I can't read what Maurice is reading.
He
I
said
need to
he
get
said those condo fees in the DMV are obscene. I
They
am an
really
obscene
are.
person. I am an obscene person.
Mm,
I will live with that.
well,
mm.
but the condos that we saw when we were moving through the DMV, my first DMV condo was 3 stories on a golf course with an elevator. There
Oh
was,
wow.
you know, I, I was ready to dump New Jersey right then and there, but it, it's okay. I right now, despite everything that I'm dealing with, I have a building that I have wanted to live in for about 20 years. It's downtown Newark. It's likely going to cost too much. And I'm telling you, my first order of business when opportunity presents itself, I'm going to find someone who has to tap out and I'm gonna take over. I'm like, oh, you can't handle here anymore. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. You want me to help you out with that? And be right in the middle of all the hubbubaloo and go back to my lifestyle of living a few blocks away from Penn Station.
Wait,
Where
can we talk about downtown Newark for a minute? Because
sure,
good gravy and gracious. I had thought about, and sorry, Carmel's like I don't go to Jersey, and Dr. J is like that ain't nowhere near me. But I had thought about for a minute sliding over into Newark because I knew that it was being slowly gentrified, but there was still a space. Like there's that gap. It didn't like make it completely over the cusp yet, but the schools were in disarray and my kids were still in school, so there was no
right,
way that I could move, and then they were out of school, and now I was like I really don't want to live in New Jersey at all at this point. But having like being there this past weekend, every time I go back, I'm like, man, look at what
yep,
they are building up over
yes, ma'am,
here, and whoever has their homes, and not just in Newark, but if you don't get booted out in Irvington, don't get booted out
all of
in the
it.
surrounding area because it's hold 10 years, Market and Broad. I see where the stores they're just like running
Yep,
out the lease, and then they're gonna tear all of that beautiful architecture down,
yep.
and it's going to be something so different, so different. But yeah, it's certain parts of it. I was just like, man, this has changed in the past 5 years.
It is a remarkable shift from a girl who grew up, like forever walking up and down those streets when it was still Bambergers, and you had the penny store and the five and dime, all of that, like literally, Woolworths was there. So the transformation has been there. And my one kick in the fanny, I had a chance to buy the condo there. And I It was my original lesson on being wishy-washy. It was the 2-story, 2-bedroom condo down where the first main condos were. It was a $77,000 unit, and I said I need to think about it. And someone who came behind me said she ain't got to think about nothing. And when I called that agent the next
Mm.
morning, they were like, "Oh yeah, no, we gave it to the next person." And that this was my first lesson in, oh, this is, yeah, we got to be ready to make decisions right out the gate. But I still like the idea of apartment and condo living because as much maintenance as I have to deal with, I don't want to deal with the maintenance. I believe in people. I gotta remember to call my people. My people are calling. They ask me if they're gonna work this weekend, and I got to get them scheduled. It's it's not fun all the time doing all this maintenance and landscaping and structuring when you could just wake up and everything is perfect. I I love my current guy. I just come home and the grass is cut and everything is there, and then he found me other people to continue because we've got to continue developing the landscaping. But while I'm looking at the house where we are, so I'm in a single family house that my father built in 1982. It was a ranch, and I've converted it into a colonial. I've done so much work on the house that I'm not even in love with the house anymore. I want to just keep it for business and then go move in a cute little place somewhere else where I don't have to do any maintenance. But my main thing is my mother's life from, God, 1970 is all in that house. We built the house in 82, but my mother's been a hoarder since the beginning of time, her and daddy. And I'm still finding things. I'm still finding drawers that I haven't unpacked. So I can say that being in the house there to take care of her allows me to, what extremely frustrating some days, but it allows me to know that she's taken care of. If you've ever had a parent, and I know you two know, and Dr. J, of course, but for the audience, if you've ever had a parent in a nursing home, there's a 90% chance that you hate nursing homes. And my mother spent her time in the nursing home, and at the time where I was saying, okay, she's going to come back and we're going to make a shift and I'm going to go back to my lifestyle, was when I realized what her life would look like if I were not there to manage it. We do not have a fully functional situation because I don't have any siblings. I don't have anyone else to share time with, and there's a shortage of caregivers. So even though we have benefit package that will pay for caregivers, finding caregivers is hell on wheels. And then I have to be extraordinarily careful about who I allow in the house because caregivers are not all to be trusted. So it's that same conversation, whether it is your parent or your child, they're all your babies and you can't let just anybody watch your baby. So I wind up being in this sandwich generation where I'm in my mother's house, being her caregiver and being her daughter, and then being my child's caregiver and being his mom. I'm here in the car because I'm sitting at football, and but I'm still only a few miles away from home in case there's an emergency. And you know what? It works. There are days where I just want to pack up and run to Wichita and go live on a farm with no technology and just go off grid and say, find me. Go ahead and find me. I dare you. You ain't gonna find me out here. But on the days that I'm needed, on the days that she's sick or off balance, and I'm able to serve, those are the days that reel me in and keep me balanced and allow me to say, okay, this multi-generational lifestyle has challenges and benefits. Hold on, I've got people next to me. There's also some people who've made little comments about things. They're like, "Oh, your son is keeping her alive. I'm so glad you're there." And then I'm, as I'm studying health and whatnot, only to find out that multi-generational living actually helps extend the lifestyle of or the lifespan of the third generation. Something
Yep.
about the children being there gives life, gives energy, gives purpose to the grandparents. And where typically we might be in a spot where we might lose mom or dad if they were on their own or in a nursing home, they are living longer. What an
Hmm.
interesting thing to learn. So I found out that I was bringing value there, longevity and quality of life. Sorry for the background noise. um I also like the fact that you were talking about the schools, Maisha. I get to give my child that suburban upbringing. It taxes my nerves some days, but I know that he's in a better school. If I were in the city, I would require private school. I'm not a big fan of the school system at all, but I know based on my ability to commit and follow up, I need my teachers. And I wish
Hmm.
I had the mindset to focus. So it matters to me that I'm in a good school system. So I dig deep some days to find the benefits, but I love the house. I love how I've redesigned the house. We've got more work to do and we're working on these last finishing touches. But I got to tell you, most important to me from an investment point of view is knowing that the house was purchased so long ago, the equity that's there, it just doesn't even make sense when you look at what's out in the marketplace. And my age, I don't feel like it makes sense for me to try to move or relocate. I'd rather make that contractual investment into this family home, and then that extra money pour it into future investments for my son, pour it into experiences and traveling with him. And I just can't see why I need to go look for another home when we have everything that we need. What we don't have is pictures in front of the Eiffel Tower or Big Ben, or, us going and sticking our foot in the water in Spain. That's what I see as a good investment. And I'll say that there's someone else that I could imagine who would say I'm crazy. But I've got land. We're working on developing that land. I'm still going to be investing in other ways, and that works for me. I don't want to go up. I don't want to size up. I don't want to size down. The way our house is designed, if I ever really needed to, I would just go right into Golden Girls and say, okay, I'm going to go move into the family room. That's my suite. My kid's going to take the first floor and someone can rent the second floor. And I'm going to put up walls and dividers. And we're going to have our one family house with 3 different ecosystems. But I don't want to be one of these people who's going to be Hunger Games worrying about where they're going to live. I want to know that the nurse can come in and that everything that I need is right there waiting for me. And God willing, I'll continue to do better with my health and I won't even need that. So,
Mhm.
I just think that it's important to say, and I'll start heading in a different direction. Everything that everybody says about their choices and how they want to live, it's right. I get the benefit of saying every now and then to people, it's right if you say it's right. I love telling my clients that because they'll come with this tone of worry. Like, is that the right thing? What do you think? Is it right for you? Is the question I get to ask. Is that how you want it? And if that's how you want it, if that's where you want to be for now or forever, then it's right because you said so. And I can end
Mhm.
where I began. You got all of these people telling you that you're stupid if you pay your house off. How is that stupid? And, like Maisha, you were talking about putting a home in a trust. And I respect your opinion. But if you live in an apartment and you don't own anything, to spend money on a trust for assets you don't own, to me, but there's people living in apartments with trusts and they have hope. If you're working towards something, trust up. But if you're
Right.
one of these people who are saying, I'm not leaving my kids nothing, ain't nobody leave me nothing, I'm not leaving them nothing, then that person does not need a trust. We, in my opinion, I said I wish we could just really do our homework, talk to a tax attorney. Oh, okay, people, please stop being cheap. You got a closet full of Jordans. Pay an accountant and an attorney and a financial consultant, all 3 of them, and discuss your future and see what's right for you. You don't have to pay them again. You're going to get more money for Jordans, or you could wait. Let's see, a car payment for a decent car these days is $700 to $1,000. So wait, girl, by
Cars are
girl, let's
people
we gonna bring it
driving.
back up. We're
What?
gonna bring it back up. We're gonna bring it back up. I promise.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. But they are doing it. That's the car payment. That's not the insurance.
This is what I'm saying. Oh
And
no,
notice I
no,
left
no.
a syllable off. I refuse to even give it the syllable.
People
So
are doing it left and right, y'all.
left, right,
Left
and
and right.
center and underneath.
Mm-mm.
Uh-huh.
So stay on the hoopty for 3 more
Mortgage for my
months
vehicle. Oh
and
no.
and hold off for those 3 months and go spend that car payment money that you got. Because you're saying you ain't got it because you're putting it in your car, but your car is not going to help you plan your life and create a strategy. So go
Not unless
talk
you
to
live
the
in it.
people. Huh?
I'm sorry. I mean, look,
Say it.
and I knew somebody who did that, and it was very strategic. Like she bought herself a minivan,
Yes,
and she lived in her minivan, and that's
girl.
fine. Like, she was in her 20s, she didn't have any kids, she'd park at her mom's house, but she was like, why should I, she's like, the car note is cheaper than rent in DC. Like, she lived in DC, right? And she
Yep.
made a lot of sense, and she had set up her minivan in such a way, and it was amazing. And I was like, I mean, I had like two small kids at the time, and I was like, man, I kind of wish I could do that, because I would do that. That would be me, right?
I
Because that
look
way
at them
I'm not.
all the
Yes,
time. I
I'd be
look
an
at them with
RV living.
envy. Oh my God. I
Yeah.
love them. But because I have family from North Carolina, we had an uncle who lived in a trailer on the right of the house. So I grew up a piece of my life seeing grandma's house with people living on the land in a trailer. And I look at those RVs and I'm saying, I could put that RV right here, and then I can go
Easily.
outside and I don't need an office.
Easily.
I'll just go out in the RV and lock the
That's
door and
right.
hide from these people and have
Yep.
have a couple minutes
I
of
wish.
silence. But it's still just I say all of that, and we go in our circles. I get really frustrated seeing people live fabulous lives, but then they say they can't afford X.
Right.
I mean, no, it's not that you can't afford it, you haven't prioritized it. Because if you can
Right.
afford the red bottoms, the Gucci, the Jordans, and there's one who told me she couldn't afford it, younger, of course, but when you would look at her room, that not only did she have the Jordans, they were staggered, like that Instagram stagger where it's in a checkerboard. She had a whole wall full of Jordans, but saying she couldn't afford to go have the consultations I was telling her to do. And I'm like, girl, please, we're not working. So that's it. I don't really have anything. I love how different and well we all are. And I want to talk to you. Okay, I lied. One thing you said, Maisha, there's people who don't understand the Manhattan lifestyle. I started my real estate career in New York, and I wasn't nice enough to be a real estate agent in New York. God bless everyone who is there. Uptown, downtown, west side, east side. It's too small. It's overpriced. Just pick one and let's get the application in. Do you qualify or not? Just, well, what do you think? I don't think anything. I have no opinion. I don't want to show you any more units. They're all the same. They're small and expensive. Pick one. And no matter how small they were, one thing was common. Can I put a wall up here? Does the management company allow you to put a wall up? You guys are listening to people who say they live in Manhattan. And when I tell you, people are turning 2 bedrooms into 4 bedrooms, studios into 1 bedrooms, or into like community living. People are living day and night. And right now, there's developers making twin size units and they're sharing bathrooms and kitchens. And this has become increasingly normal. So I love your family setup and that you got it, because I almost had my way in. Girl, child, I tried Upper West Side, like 90 something street. I was below 96th Street. Am I right? Is there a train? Does the A train stop at 96?
The B and the C stop over in that particular area off
I
of
used to
Central
work at
Park
Columbus
West.
Circle, and all I know is I would take it up and I'd have to walk over a little bit, but it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
that's the
The
B and the
point is,
C.
I tried to get my hands on that rent controlled apartment, and I could not get in. And those people tried to move out and they wanted to give me the keys after they moved out. And the doorman called the landlord and said, these people are moving out. He showed up and had his hand out for the key right there. He's like, oh, you leaving? Give me the key. Give right here. Give me the key. So
Listen, let me just real quick, because it's funny, because I think I had somebody was talking about you talking about living, and I so much would like my own space at this point in time. But somebody's like, oh, so where are your kids at? It's like, they live with me. Oh, all of them? I live in New York City. Where do you think they're going
where?
to live? So it's like, I mean, first of all, they're just, they're 19, 21, 24, and 25. They're just really getting their lives together.
Yep.
They don't. Nobody here has corporate jobs like that. That's just not really how we flow yet. And so it was like either you stay here with me and you give me some small portion of your paycheck, or you can get a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom apartment for
For
$2,999.
yep, yep,
Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's one. It's 800 square feet and it's 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom for $3,100. So
yep,
no, don't ask me why my kids are still here. I'm still here.
man.
I wouldn't even.
We're renovating a 1 bedroom apartment right now. It's $1,600 for that. And I believe in the family economy. I believe that when you come together that way and you make that sacrifice, that it is the very best way to help everybody move forward, because the last thing any of us need to be worried about is where or how we live. And while I love the people converting their car and van into, these luxury spaces, and I have this whole how did you do that collection in my saved files, and these magic mini spaces, I don't want to do it. I am not I want to camp out and go to the campgrounds for 3 days maybe, but then I need to come and fall back like Jesus on my king size bed and sprawl out and just like
Mm-hmm.
I need that. We're not doing that in the mini camper where I can't even sit up like I'm sitting up now. It's just
Well, see,
I'm not trying.
I can't even get a decent sized bathtub, so that's why it's not a thing for. I just really would like a decent sized bathtub. It is so difficult to not be able to take a bath, and there's nowhere that I can take like a bath
Yes.
because there's the bathtubs are made for
Wow.
tiny people,
Okay,
right? So I
next time
can't.
we plan an outing, I'm gonna look for a place, not one of our events. Transition hint. I'm gonna look for a place that has a big bathtub, an oversized bathtub, so that you can.
Whenever I find them, like whenever I've done a retreat or something like that, if it's got, I'm like, I'm in that ish before
I
we leave because
I'm
I can
I
stretch my legs out.
mm-mm. A good bathtub is worth its weight in gold. And I gotta tell
By
you,
the
I can
way,
appreciate it. I spent so
I
long
don't take we don't
and I spent so long in a bathroom once. My husband thought I was cheating on him. But husband number one, husband number one, not number two, and that's funny. So I went to Vegas and they upgraded me to a junior suite, and my bathroom was as big as my bedroom, and you know, it had the giant jacuzzi tub. It had the whole big counter for like, I don't know, 800 women to do their makeup. It had a sauna. So, I'm here. All right. The bathroom's amazing. I'm going in the bathroom. I'll call you when I get out. But I never left the bathroom. So he called, and I think, thank God, it was the beginning of having decent phones, because it was like a Blackberry or something. So I had to send him that old pixelated photo of. I'm like, no, really, I'm in the bathroom. I'm alone. There's no one here. It's just the bathroom is so glorious. I can't leave it. So
I
yeah, we
just
all have our
I mean
fantasies.
I remember just real quick having the
Yeah,
BlackBerry and thinking that I was like the like I had my BlackBerry.
yeah,
I was something. But Divine on Instagram said baths are now a luxury in New York City where I am. Baths are a luxury. That
yeah.
3,100 a month, 800 square foot 2 bedroom that I mentioned.
Has a shower
A lot of
stall.
these new apartments, right? They don't have any baths at all. It's just a shower.
Yeah,
They barely have any closet space, and some of them the bedroom is like next to the kitchen. Like I mean, like right there. There's no living room. So, but that's 3,100 you're paying for 800 square feet.
man, I'm telling you, it's just
And
it's
no bathtub.
we all got to make it work the way we work. So, you guys, we've been sitting here just talking about lifestyle choices and, our opinions on our lifestyles. But we also have so much more that we bring to the table. And in November 9th, we are going to be getting together in New Jersey to just talk about the facets of us with health and wellness. I'm talking about money. I think it's more of a mastermind, but all of us are going to be addressing the topics with the hopes of having you, our guests, have healthier, happier, uplifted mindsets, fitness goals, all of that. So I am going to be talking about money and real estate and resources on funding for business. But we've got intermittent fasting, we've got nutrition, we've got our sensuality, and what are we saying right now? Good death to the good girl, and just being your best innermost self. You speak for yourself because I don't speak well for you.
What the others could speak for themselves. They might be like, hey, I might be
How
doing
we gonna
something
get
different. No,
around to it?
it'll be very broad based. Like it won't be I don't know how to say this. It won't be head on sex, but it will definitely be something around. I'm ovulating, y'all. This is the energy you're gonna get today. It will definitely be around your pleasure and how increasing your pleasure actually does increase the wealth in your life. Yeah.
Yes, it does. And it also will help your employees not hate you. Because if you are evil and you need to get some, please go get some. Ain't nobody trying to deal with your angry behind. Just it's everywhere. Go get some. If you are old, if you are bald, if you are
She
short,
said it's everywhere.
it's
Mm.
everywhere. Everybody is waiting to give you
It's in
some.
your hands. You
Yeah,
don't have to go
that too.
anywhere.
That yeah, but
There you
that
go.
too. But some
Some
sometimes
people won't even touch themselves.
sometimes
That's where you two. That's
there's
where you come
more
into,
than one
Maisha.
way to
Hmm.
solve that problem. But we're going to be getting together to just have an entertaining conversation, an entertaining day. It's going to be an entire day of activities with us coming together, and we
Yes.
would like to invite you to be there. So you can go to Black Coffee Honey
Yes.
and Grits and you'll be able to sign up. We also have a community. It's only $7 a month. We have some things that we've got to put in there, but we are going to be bringing facets of ourselves to the group. And again, you're welcome to be in there. And we would also love you to join the email list because Maisha pushes out great information. We're all putting things out. Maisha, I'm almost done with my homework assignment, by the way. And
I don't even know what that is.
there's some things that only go out to the group, and there's some things that only go out on the email list. So if you're not, I mean, if you're not on the email list, I mean, come on, man, the email list is free. It only takes a second to sign up, and we only send out things once a week. So, or unless it's relevant. So that's it. We're done. DONE.
DONE. I don't know what the homework assignment is, but sure, that sounds great.
My list of credit resources. It's typed, but it's not proofed. And I don't know about you. I hate when people put out links and they don't work. So I want to make sure that every single link works before I send it over to you.
Okay, and just real quick, we're doing like 5 links, right? Because we're not giving them like a booklet. We just gonna do 3 to 5 links because it's an email. Okay.
You can put 3 to
If
5 in
y'all,
the email, but
yeah,
the
if y'all
whole
want
list,
the rest of the links, you
it,
can join the
it's in the
Facebook
group,
group.
right? That's
Okay.
for the group.
Yeah.
For the
That's for the
group.
group.
Okay. 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 All right. Okay. Okay.
There's a topper list which is general for everybody, but the honey dips in our group will get the whole list.
There you go. That works.
Thank you. Maya says, have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Maria.
Maya. We love you. I love you.
All right, y'all. We will be back here Friday at 11:30 ish. Okay.
AM.
Ish.
11:30 ish.
We'll
Okay.
see y'all then. We'll see
AM.
y'all then.
Yeah.
Bye, you guys.
Yeah. This was good. Thank you, Shelly.
All
Oh,
right. So Dr. J's got to work. I got to go do football. Thank you very much, ladies. And
thank you.